This is a 2012 VitrA Evergreen. Funny enough, made in Turkey. It's stamped on the bottom of it. Has a generic handle, corky quiet fill, and a standard corky flapper that I installed since the one that was in it was completely ruined and rotted. You can see where the water level was set before. And it has this relatively nice seat on it. It's a pretty clean look to it. So we're starting off with a dry flush here. These are definitely a pretty unique front flusher. Very, very basic in design, and although the trapway looks big, it's not at the opening. So since this thing fills so quickly, we're going to start with the red rag, which is laying behind it. I'm going to do another normal flush before then. And I'm going to do it at the water line that the tank was filled up to previously. Compared to how I've experienced these, this one seems a little bit lazy. After this clip, I'm going to insert the ones that I originally filmed to this, and then we'll start with the tests. That didn't seem to do too great, but I took it through. Now let's see how it does on this one. And besides having the front flusher limitations, there is a small opening at the bottom, and yes, this trapway is relatively large all the way through, and it is this diameter on the inside, but the way that this is able to siphon is the actual opening is relatively small at the bottom. But I guess if something has enough speed by then, it'll get through it. Since the seat was easy to remove, I removed it and spread this same rag out a little bit better. Again, this one seems a little bit sluggish. But now I'm going to try both microfibers together. I'm expecting it to try and take both at once. No, took them separately. I'll try it again and lay them out in a more normal fashion. It's definitely going to try and take both together now. Even so, took them right through. So now let's try a grocery bag. I'm not the biggest fan of this test since I don't do tests enough to wear out a grocery bag enough to make it easily passable, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah. That shopping bag's actually pretty thick, so it just can't scrunch down enough to be pulled through. You can see that even then, I don't have it scrunched down enough. I'm gonna try now, squishing it like this. Let's see if maybe that'll do something. This tank's pretty small, so it fills up pretty quickly. Well, I think it's still in the pipe somewhere. I'll let it push it out of the pipe once the tank fills up. Now, I'm filming at this angle since if I stand in front of it, the lighting's still good. The light above and behind me doesn't shine on it as much, so it makes filming a little bit easier. Here's 2 rubber gloves. Barely got them out of there. And those are thin latex, not necessarily rubber. And the nice thing about front flushers like this, and I think the Sterling Wyndham's another one, maybe something else, is they're designed in a way to refill themselves after the flush, so I can add water to it. And somehow it retains enough water in the actual rim somewhere to refill itself. I do have a thicker dishwashing glove that I'm gonna try. Now this is one out of a pair, so I'm seeing if it can even deal with one. Well, it's somewhere. See, it uses only about half of the water in the tank, which is perfect. So these are designed to have a standard flapper in them anyway. Yeah, it was sitting right at the end. Let's see if it can deal with 2 of them. Based on how it did with 1, I'm not really confident about 2 of them. Well, the 1's gone, and that one got caught. So I'm not even going to let the tank fall all the way back up for a second shot. I'm maybe going to let it get half a tank in it. Since I'm pretty sure that other one's either at the bottom or in the pipe somewhere. Oh, almost just got it. So I'm going to give it one more shot at the 2 gloves. I'm going to give it a little boost of water, which isn't much, but right over the top of the overflow there. And I sunk them a little bit better. They're right there. Well, not enough water to fully push them out, but it did it. Which is actually quite a surprise to me. So now we're going to move on to golf balls, and we're going to start with 3 golf balls. Now, I'm assuming this is going to do well, maybe even all the way up to 11. With ease. Let's double it. Here's 6. Let's try 9. Let's go all the way up to 11. Wow. Let's do it a second time, just for fun. It even struggled there a little bit, but it still did it. So now, I'm going to try the little wood scraps that I have that float. The only issue I could see arising from this is maybe they get stuck at the bottom, but let's see. Or they do that sometimes too. Which doesn't mean this is a super fair test. So, I'm only gonna let the tank fill up about halfway before I let it go again. Wow, yeah. Okay. Let's give it a second shot at this with all 8. Now that's more like it. But I don't know if it got them all through. There's currently only 3 sitting there, but that doesn't mean they're just in here still. They could just be sitting in the pipe. Yeah, and they were. So now let's try some dried grass. There's a pretty good handful. I don't know if I'd entirely blame it on this thing, but it's also possible it's not replacing enough of its water. A good way to test that, since this stuff is all wet now, is to grab it from the drain screen down here, which again isn't all of it, but it's most of it. Spread it around a little bit again. And try it again and see what happens. The fill valve is basically filling exactly to that line, but I'm gonna adjust it to fill. Maybe I'll even let it fill right to there, but try it now. Definitely depends on the way it siphons, but this is a pretty grueling test since this stuff all floats. But I got most of it out. So let's see how much water it takes to get the rest of it out. Yeah, there's still some, but it got most of it. At the moment, I'm not sure where the dish rag I was using went, even though I can just grab another one. This is a pretty big torture test for it. A pair of cotton boxers used as a rag out here. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna hold the handle open. I'm surprised it tried. It looks like it just got air in it. So I'm gonna give it a second shot at that, and maybe it'll actually do it. Who knows? Yeah, it did worse that time. So I'm thinking it's not gonna be able to do it. But I'm gonna give it a shot at it by seeing if I can angle it in. I'm not expecting this to help it at all, but let's try it. Yeah, it can't do it. It gets it pretty far though. Maybe that's something I'll try. Filling the bowl up and letting it suck it down. Well, that did it. And I did happen to find my gray rag that I normally use as a secondary test, but with it just taking that, this will be a piece of cake for it. Now, the pipe was stopped up by that other rag that went through it. I'm not even going to give it a full tank. I'm just screwing around at this point. Yeah. Maybe if I don't give it a full tank, it won't even do it. Well, I tried to take them both at once. Let's see if I can get it to overflow at least once. The rags are gone. They were at the opening. So who knows where they are now. I'm waiting to see if it possibly pushes them through. Doesn't look like it will. Let's see how stuck they actually are. This plunger's a little hard. It sounds like they're actually stuck at the outlet. They are. So that squelching noise as I was plunging was when they disappeared from there, they literally went all the way down to that point. Well, overestimated it a little bit. Not by that much though. Wait a second and let it push the last rag out. I haven't seen a super comprehensive test video on one of these, so I'm trying to go through everything I can here. There's not much else I can really think of. I've basically gone through everything I have. There's nothing else I have laying around that I could see it being able to do. So I'll just do some normal flushes at some different angles. I also went and grabbed the lid for it too. It's a pretty basic lid. with the seat back on it, that's really it for this 2012 VitrA Evergreen. The only thing I thought I'd show at the end of the video here is what the outlet of the trap is like. I'm gonna have to go upside down so you can see it there. And you can see it's not the biggest thing in the world, and that's really the main restriction with these, but again, it's not tiny. You can see the wax ring outline. It's not super big either. That's how they get these things to siphon well. It did come with a slow close seat too.